just starting from the beginning, with agents and other real estate professionals that come on here, because I always find that typically there's something that usually happens, whether it's growing up or college years or things along those lines that really impact and influence kind of your real estate business. What was life like growing up?
Yeah. So growing up, I was always very interested in helping other people. So, throughout high school and even really before high school, I was always, the teacher's aide and helping out any way I could with that, and involved in a lot of different groups, in high school. A lot of different clubs and organizations like Leo Club, which was one that kind of spins off of the Lions Club, yearbook, lots of different extracurriculars like that. And then once I graduated from high school, I actually went to college to be a teacher, went in for education, ended up teaching a couple years in preschool and really loved the kids. But then went through the process of buying my first house when I turned 20, and just kind of going through that process and seeing the different programs that were out there and kind of the lack of knowledge with some of that stuff. It really made me want to get into real estate and help other people, specifically first-time home buyers, kind of going through that process to make sure they're getting, down payment assistance or different grants or things like that are available that just aren't super well known.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. And we'll dive into it in a little bit, but I wonder what the percentage of people that are real estate agents now, the cause of them getting into the business is because of their own experience that they went through. I wonder what that percentage is. And we can talk about that. And I wanted to back up though, because you mentioned that you always wanted to kind of serve and serve others. Was that something like your family did, or is that just something that you just naturally went to?
Just natural. I grew up with a lot of siblings, so I'm sure that was part of it. I'm the oldest child, in a big family, so I was always kind of helping take care of my siblings. And then just, those different personality charts or different, personality quizzes that you do. Mine has always been, wanting to please others and take care of others first. So just, I guess I was born with it. I don't know.
And what made you want to go and do all the other groups? Because that was not me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that may have impacted or played into your real estate business once you got into it.
Yeah, I think just, a lot of them, I wasn't obviously in every group, and I wasn't in a lot of sports. So some of the groups like Yearbook and Leo Club and FCCLA, those were just things that were more community driven and, a way that I could connect and be involved in things without necessarily having to be athletic. So.
No, that's awesome. So that you graduated high school, and you get your teaching degree?
Yes. Yep. Okay. I went to Ohio University, got a degree in child development, taught preschool in my hometown of Baltimore for a couple years, at the preschool there, the local preschool. And I really enjoyed it. I definitely still miss the kids, but now from when I taught, they're all now like going into middle school and high school. So, seeing them, with it being a small town, I still get to see them and their families a lot. And I've had plenty of students that, their parents have been clients of mine now. So just seeing them grow up, and it's amazing how fast it goes by, for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. And so through that process, you ended up buying your first home?
Yes.
And that was what made you decide that real estate was the next step for you at that point?
So initially, I would say it was something, I had a full-time job. So it was kind of like I could do this on the side, and, maybe it would give me money. I could go on a vacation, that kind of thing. And it just, every year, it snowballed. Each year it grew so much that after a couple years, I had to go full-time just because it was too much to manage with teaching and everything too. Just to be able to better serve the clients, I had to go to full-time so I could be available more to, do the showings and all that kind of stuff.
And it wasn't necessarily someone telling you that, you should get into real estate. It was just your experience that you personally went through, and you just figured that there could be a better way, or was it a great experience? You're like, oh, I could do that.
It wasn't necessarily a bad experience, but it also wasn't a great experience. My mom actually helped me a lot. She had gone through the USDA, which is a rural development program, very common in our area. She had gone through that, and another local program that helped with some repairs when she had purchased her home. So she kind of guided me more so than the agent that I used, which again, not that she did anything wrong or anything, but it was my mom's knowledge from going through it before and using these programs where even the agent wasn't super familiar with them. So just, being able to, again, kind of advocate for first-time home buyers and be able to show them that there are so many options out there. And, even at that point, rent was more than I could buy a house for. So it was like a no-brainer where it's kind of like just getting people to open their eyes to where they can see like, okay, rent is here, a mortgage is here. If I can take advantage of a down payment assistance or, different programs, maybe I can just purchase a home and, really save money by buying instead of renting.
I'm sure too, with you just coming out of college and kind of going through that process and teaching, your sphere of influence was right there, same path as you, right? First time home buyer. And what
Right.
year was that when you're talking for grants and things like that? What year was it?
So I graduated high school in 2010. So it was right around 2012.
Okay.
When I purchased my home. And then, yes, definitely my sphere of influence. I know we'll probably get a little deeper into that in a little bit, but yes, my sphere of influence, timing wise, once I bought my first home, got into real estate. Luckily, it gave me a couple years to get experience, get some deals under my belt, learn a little bit more about real estate in general and, how to write a solid contract and that kind of thing. So by that point, a lot of people I graduated with, or maybe not even in my class, but, people that were
Sure.
in the school with me, with it being a small school. I mean, I graduated with a class of 115. So it's more so like, the whole high school, we all knew each other versus just one grade or something like that.
Right.
So a lot of people I went to school with, I've helped buy a home. And at this point, so I've been licensed a little over 8 years now. At this point, I've had several people even come back to me. We've sold their first house that they purchased, and they've now purchased a bigger home because they've, started a family and got a better job since then and things like that. So that's really cool. And that's, a really rewarding part of the job to be able to work with someone again and, watch their family grow and watch them grow and be successful and everything.
For sure. For sure.